Welcome back to Okay, So Hear Me Out.
But I think that's it. I think, and I believe people should talk more about that. I think, like, I want to be an intellectual property attorney. I look up intellectual property attorneys all the time. And I look at the cases and stuff that they work on all the time. And sometimes I look at intellectual property jobs and things like that. But what I really, really need is to know people in practice for what it is I want to do. Something like that. I think it's a combination. Where I think we're missing the mark is we don't have the human connection, the interaction. Now, I will say this. For my kids, for sure, if they express interest in something, then I'm all over that. I'm like, yo, this is what we're going to do, and I'm learning about it, whether it's sports or whether it's something else. And I want to know more about that, i.e.
So how are we lacking in human connection?
I don't think we sit down and take the time on Saturdays and say, yo, let's go talk to this person. Even if like with me with real estate, people come and talk to me about real estate all the time.
Okay.
And I say, yeah, I know about that, but let's talk to this person. And they will say 8 out of 10 times, no, I want to talk to you. What do you mean? I want to talk to you because I'm comfortable talking to you. I'm like, yeah, but that person is really good and would be really good for you.
Right.
And they will probably be a role model for you if you want to sit down and talk about this. Let's do it that way. I don't think we're grabbing people by the hand and connecting them.
Giving them an opportunity for a meet and greet.
Right. Part of that, I think, is just because maybe the last 2 generations or so, we're just like, I'll do it myself, which is pride. And then there's social media. I can YouTube this. And they're going to be 3,800 videos that come up that are going to be relevant to what I do. So I'm not going to have the human contact. I think we have degraded the value of human contact.
I agree.
Right. So I think that's the problem.
I agree with that. So much so that it's so funny that you mentioned that. I have become more and more interested in going back to the 90s. I want a landline phone.
Oh boy.
I want a landline phone, and I honestly kind of want to get rid of my cell phone. Like, if you don't catch me out, if you don't catch me at home, you're not going to catch me when I'm out. You'll just have to wait until I get back home, type thing. I miss that. I don't know what it is, but it's something about that I think the being able to connect with anybody at any time, anywhere, no matter what, has, ironically enough, disconnected us.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, I think it has disconnected
100%.
us. It's so crazy. We're actually closer and yet farther from each other than we have ever been in human history. I think if I had a home phone, and I'm talking about having this thing way over here on the other side of my kitchen, and not have my phone literally 6 inches away from me at all times, that is a problem. I'm really thinking about it. I'm really thinking about keeping my phone as just literally a pocket computer. And that's it. Whenever I step out the house, it's going into airplane mode. If you're trying to call me, you're going to have to call the house phone, because that's the only way you're going to reach me. I'm really coming close to doing it, man. Wow. I've been thinking about it. It's so funny that you mentioned that, because I really have been coming really close to doing that, because I think that as a society, we have become so much more detached, the more attached that we have become with our technology.
Mm-hmm. You're texting people. I see a lot of young people doing that.
And that's another thing, too. They don't even talk. People don't even really talk anymore. They're texting each other.
I mean, we set this pod up. We didn't talk. Those were all text messages.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And it's like, okay, well, that's not so bad. No, that's the point. The point is, you do not have to have that contact to get stuff done. And the problem is, by the way, I'd agree. I would love to go back to the 90s. Actually, the 80s would be cool.
80s or 90s, either way. I think the 90s were the better decade. I think the 90s was the best decade that we ever had in human history. But I might just be biased. I digress.
I mean, you might be right. I'm a 70s guy because that music, boy.
I don't know. 90s music was kind of fire too.
Boy.
But but look, 70s music.
Show on that.
70s music is dope.
And here's the 80s.
Yeah.
I think it's underrated.
Oh, yeah. 80s is underrated.
I like the 70s because, well, we could talk about that one time. But, that's my vote. But the thing is, you could text. Like, I've got people I've done business with for 10 years that are in this city.
You've never met them.
I don't know what they look like.
Nope.
And don't know a lot about them. And it used to be you just couldn't do that. You had to sit down and take that time.
Yeah.
And make it happen. And for a long time now, I've not put my phone on vibrate or ring. I mean, maybe about 10 years now. So I miss calls.
Yeah.
Because it's not that I'm not on the phone a lot. I actually need to get off this phone as much as I'm on there right now. I thought about that this morning before I went to church. But it's I was like, man, I can't, because it'll ring and I'll turn every time. And I was like, I'm going to stop doing that.
Yeah.
And, I think that goes into what you said, which I think is a true statement. But the world now moves so fast. If you don't tie into your phone, in a lot of ways, you're going to get left behind. And I'm sad about that.
Yeah.
Whereas now, you can buy cars, you can buy land, you can buy houses, you can start businesses. I think most of my LLC application I did on my phone.
Yeah.
In a meeting.
Yeah.
That should have been an email. I literally did that. I was like, yo, why are we here?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, Secretary of State.
Sync.
You know those PDFs with the fillable lines? Save that. Yep. Would you like to send this file? I would. Thank you. That's convenient. And it pulls the email up for you. I agree. We are moving too fast and we're leaving. We are eroding the opportunity to have human contact. And we're embracing that.
We are leaving our humanity behind.
And there's a flex that people have. People come, I don't really like being around people, as if that's a great thing. I don't like being around people. Like, but you're a person. Yeah, but I don't like being around people. Why not? I just don't. I'm like, but you should have some interaction.
Yeah.
Short of you having an issue on a mental health side where you're just like, I'm super introverted. I don't like being around people.
Or like myself.
Or like what?
Like myself.
Yeah, I mean,
I have my social anxiety.
Look,
my diagnosis.
Anxiety, one thing. Not everyone want to be around somebody else.
That's a whole different.
That's an issue.
Yeah,
that's an issue.
Yeah,
and I will say this: there are a lot of people that are just antisocial. They lie and say, "Well, I got something going on." I say, "Nah, you just antisocial."
You just antisocial.
And you should practice. I'm not the most socially expedient person. I'm running, I'm looking, and I'm not that. I have this weird kind of social way. I just accept it is what it is. You don't like it, it's cool.
Kick rocks.
But I'm not a bad person, so deal with it. I mean, there's a strange part of my personality. I mean, it's what it is. But but I think that's true. I think it's very true. We are missing things, and we have now. I think my kids would fall to pieces if they had to actually make phone calls to talk to people.
Yep.
Like, these dudes are playing video games. They're playing people from like 6 different countries, and then it's like 4 of their homeboys on the same game.
Yep.
And 2 of them are homeboys they ain't never met, because 2 of them they knew. It's like, oh, that's my friend, so now that's your friend. Who is that guy? I don't know. Where he go to school? He go to school with us, but I ain't never met him. I was like, but you play him in 2K. Yeah, but I ain't never met him. I said, don't you think you should go to school and say, hey, man, I want to meet the guy? Like, nah, why would we do that? I was like, well, maybe you should just know. I don't know. So I think that's damaging.
That is insane, but that is 100% accurate. I mean, my boy, there were a couple of patients who, of course, being, immunocompromised cancer patients like they were, they couldn't get out and just, be able to be out there with any and everybody and meet up with any and everybody, of course, makes sense, all the sense in the world. So especially when they're hospitalized. And this is, of course, during the whole COVID situation. So it made matters even worse for them. So one of the things that both of these boys had, they had their, what was that? The Switch, the Nintendo Switch. And they really didn't have a lot of people that they could play with. Mm-hmm. My son had a Switch. So I was like, why don't y'all link up with my boy? You know, they exchange codes and whatever their Nintendo codes were and their names were, whatever, what have you. And they became friends through gaming. Never met. This has been years. This has been since 20, man, look, since 2020. Yeah.
That's a lifetime for a kid, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a long time.
This has been since 20. So we're looking at about 5 years, almost going on 6 years now, man. This has been 5 years easy. 5 years easy with one. And the thing is, it's been 5 years easy with one, and he met one kid only once through Pokemon Go. He met one kid only once, though, because I was able to bring my son up there, son up to the hospital one day just to walk around and see what I do at work. And he got to meet a couple of patients, including one of the kids that he was playing with through gaming. Met him one time. Shortly after that, though, like a month or so later after that kid unfortunately passed away. Lost his battle. But crazy part about it, had I never been able to bring my son up there that one day, never would have met him and never would have had the opportunity to meet him.
You don't get that connection.
Yeah, don't get that connection. But it's crazy, though, because like you said, man, when we were growing up, where were we? Mom and Dad didn't even have to worry about that because they knew we were probably down the street, round the corner, up the block or two at so-and-so's house. And all the other kids in the neighborhood was at so-and-so's house. And what are we all doing? We gaming, but we playing tournament. We playing tournament because there ain't but 2 controllers.
It's like 7 bikes outside. Yeah.
7 bikes and a couple of kids are standing up and riding with the other kid on another bike. So it's like 7 bikes, but you probably got about 9 or 10 kids there. And we, like I said, we only had 2 controllers on one gaming system. So what we doing? We playing and we rotating. Whoever loses first got to get off the controller and let the next person get off. Who up next? Yep. Either you got to say next before everybody else, or you playing rock paper scissors. Rock paper scissors to get your opportunity to get on.
And look, while you waiting, you can't be like, well, I'm gonna get on YouTube till it's my turn.
Nah.
Or I'm gonna text somebody. Or I'm gonna pull up Netflix.
You watching whoever.
You just gotta sit there.
You gotta sit there. You watching whoever gaming. Yeah. Or y'all outside if this cat got a basketball court. Because my cousin, he was the one. He had the Nintendo and he had a basketball court hoop outside his house. So if you ain't gaming, you outside and you hooping. You balling. Or like I said, if it's intense enough, like, man, we used to have NBA Live tournaments.
Yeah, those are great.
Man, we are sitting, you're sitting sideline, but you're watching the game and you're just like, oh, you into it as if it's an actual NBA game that's going on. Those were the days. Those were the times. And shoot, somebody's mom is probably like cooking a pizza in the oven. Got one of those, Red Baron pizzas going in the oven, or some Totino's pizza rolls.
Whichever one's on sale.
Whatever's on sale. Or maybe she got a bunch of hot dogs and some chili, and she made chili dogs for everybody and tater tots. So, but you chilling, and you got a big old glass of Kool-Aid. You chilling, man. It was life. That was dope. These kids don't have that now.
But then inevitably there's going to be a disagreement. So you can't log off. You're sitting there. So you got a deal. Like now you just be like, yo, I'm going to block him. I don't ever have to talk to him again. But you're sitting in the room. This is the place where you play. There ain't no blocking. You got to deal with that. And the kid might be a jerk. It doesn't matter.
Don't matter.
Yeah, it was different. So
you learn to deal with that, and you learn, and that's a life lesson. That's a life learning experience, man. Learning to deal with guys who were jerks.
And
you realize, man, maybe I was a jerk. All right, I got to chill. My bad. Y'all apologize. Y'all move on. Or y'all fight it out and y'all move
beat
on.
up and you come
That's
to a
what I'm
conclusion.
saying. You fight it out and you move on.
Or you beat them up and it's like, all right, I'm going to be different now. But you don't get that over the celestial wireless. You don't get that. But anyway, that's off topic, man. I think all of that comes together where you got to find your way. And I think heroes and role models can help you find your way.
Yeah.
I think it's important to have those things. You having these thoughts in your head and you got something you can pull on.
But the more we speak on it, though, the more I'm leaning towards what you were saying, though, the tangibility of it. Because, man, as a society, we've really lost our way with the whole tangible part. Being able to meet your hero. And it's bad, too, because we've gotten to a point now that part of our vernacular in society now is to say that don't meet your heroes because they never turn out to be who you want them to be.
Oh, my gosh.
And you know what? I understand that because there have been a couple of people that I've met and I'm just like, man, I kind of wish I never met you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, or wish I never heard you or listened to you. But man, at the same time, it's still one of those things. We need to be more tangible and stop being so, I'm so easily offended. I just need to just not be around you at all. All right, I'm canceling you from now on. Screw that, man.
That's the default.
It does not need to be the default problem. Now it's just to a point that it's so easy to just disconnect from people. It's like, like you said it. If you have a dispute with somebody that you're gaming with now, you can just log off and block them.
Yep. Or
just block them. And you don't have to worry about them ever again. You could just go off and do whatever you want to do. You never develop conflict resolution. Mm-hmm. You never develop that because everything is just it's like everything now is passive aggressive. I don't like you anymore. Bloop. It's like in the dating world with ghosting.
I'm not a fan.
It's crazy. It's just like, I don't agree with you, or what you said offended me, or this, that, and the third. I'm not going to bring it up to you. I'm not going to tell you about yourself. I'm not going to ask you to change. I'm not going to allow you to learn from this. I'm just going to block and move on. That is a fundamental problem with people.
That's crazy.
That is a fundamental problem with people. Again, it's not even just the dating world with ghosting. It's also the gaming world and just living life. People just ghost on everything, and it's horrible. It's there's no development in any way, shape, form, or fashion when you do stuff like that. And I thoroughly do not understand that. I could get on this and speak on this for hours, but we need to make that another episode. But I think that is a fundamental problem of this. We've moved from role models, from superheroes to role models to being tangible with humanity, and losing our humanity by the fact that we're not connected. We're not as connected as we think that we are. And that's the problem. We think we're so smart. We think that we're outsmarting our past selves when truly we're tearing ourselves apart because of the fact that, yes, we are. I could call somebody in France right now and it's not going to be a problem. But back in the day, there was international charges on that, and there was no way that you could actually make that call without going through hoops to be able to do that.
What's that?
But now I could just
put your phone up.
Yeah, I don't even have to call anybody. I could just pull up any regular social media app and change my whatchamacallit, was it IPN?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called.
No, that's not what it is. It says a V in there somewhere. But anyway, I could just change. I could just get on any app and basically just talk to anybody I want to in another country but I'm not talking to them. I'm just texting them.
I remember when I was an intern, I remember having a project I was working on.
IPN.
And I needed to talk to maybe about 20 different people. Mm-hmm. So you could email. At that point, though, our emails would go out and it would say at the bottom, email's not an official line of communication. That's weird. Because it's like, it's not binding, whatever, because that's what the lawyers say. Because you can put anything in an email. So, they say, let's not make that official. So I had to call those people, a lot of them.
That is interesting.
I remember doing that, and it took a lot of time. You got to call them, you got to talk to them, take notes, and figure out what you're going to do.
Right.
And send messages back and forth. Not 1 month ago, I needed to talk to some people in France about a project I'm working on here in 2025.
Yeah.
I got 17 email addresses, sent them all the same message, and went on working. I said, when they get back to me, they get back to me. It took me about 10 minutes to write that email. And I sent it to 17 people. I ain't have to make one phone call. But when I was in college, I had to make those phone calls. And that probably took about 5 hours because people want a quick conversation ended up being 35 minutes.
Yeah.
But I want some of the responses I'm getting or whatever, I'm taking it in, but I don't get the context of conversation. I don't get the spontaneity. Oh, by the way, since we're on the phone, here's this. They're going to send me a message back, and then that's it. And I think that in a smaller degree is what we're talking about. We're missing a lot of that. I remember talking to my boys, and even my oldest, about how important it is to go talk to somebody about what it is you're doing. My oldest wanted to be a forensic scientist. I was like, who do you know that does that? And he said, nobody. He said, do you know anybody? I said, no, but we should find somebody. And I remember talking to him maybe about a month later. Have you talked to anybody? He's like, no. And like, you need to talk to him. He said, well, maybe I just email him. I was like, but when you do, when you make contact, and you get an introduction, you need to go talk to them. And he's like, why not just have a Zoom meeting? And I was just saying, because you need to go talk to them.
There's something about shaking hands and look at somebody in the eye.
If you could do it, you need to do that.
Yeah. Now, granted, it's different. Like if, this person is out of state or,
if you're in Australia,
out of state, out of the country, 3 or 4 hour drive away or something of that nature. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Let's go Zoom. Let's email and go Zoom, set that up. But if this person is within 45 minutes,
you need to make an impression and you need to make an engagement. You need to take that time.
I'm telling you, there's really something established that something building when you meet up with somebody, look them in the eye, shake their hands, and smile while saying, hey, good meeting you. Because it does something different. There's that face-to-face, that in-person human interaction. Dude, it's so crazy that, all right, I'm dealing with cancer patients. And of course, these patients are all throughout the state, all throughout the city, all throughout the state, all throughout the country, all throughout the world. Okay, they come from anywhere. But at least 50% of every patient I talk to, does this consultation have to be in person? Can we do this over the phone, telemed? And every time somebody asks me that, the first voice that pops up in my head, "Fool, you got cancer. Why would you not want to be seen in person?" So, of course, my professional side says...
They don't say that.
My professional side says, oh, well, no, because of the fact that, we need to run some tests to make sure that the diagnosis is accurate. We need to cross all of our T's, dot all of our I's to make sure that we are dealing with you and treating you in a manner that is most inclusive as far as aiding you in your journey of healing. I don't want to also if they keep asking, I also tell them too that it's our policy to make sure that you are actually seen in person and not just telemedicine, especially because of the aggressive nature of your particular diagnosis.
That's what we do.
This is what we do. And sometimes I always want to say this. We are the #1 cancer research facility.
Are you going to flex on
for
them?
a reason.
Go flex on
I
them?
sometimes want to pull that flex, man. I really do. I mean, we just got it again a couple of months ago. So there are times that, yes, I definitely want to flex on these people and tell them, let us do what we do. But I think that's part of because of the fact that people, we have come so far with doing everything remotely that we've lost touch with the reality of the fact that some things just shouldn't be done remotely. There are things that need to be done in person.
Yeah. I was sad when I had to go back into the office. So I'm part of the problem. I like all my coworkers, which is a rare thing. And if I didn't never have to see them again, I'd have been fine with that. So I'm part of the problem. I just hit you up and we talk about it. We go. And that's probably not a healthy thing, but I'm part of the problem. So, but I know people that I got a friend of mine that she's into, I guess, AI, machine learning and all that now. But before that, she was a programmer. She was the reason I got into that is because I knew that I wasn't going to have to deal with people because eventually I could just work from home and never have to see anybody. She's like, I don't really want the contact. And she's social outside of work.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to see the people or anything like that at all. But anyway, heroes and role models, man.
Heroes and role models. Connection and disconnection with society and humanity.
Yeah,
I think we covered a lot today.
That was a subtopic we threw in there.
Yeah, but I think we did a lot today. We covered a lot, and it was a good conversation, Chris. Appreciate you.
And we back on, man.
Yeah, man.
Back on.
We need to make this on a more regular basis. Life be lifing, so that was the reason why we had to take a break. But it's all right. We're back on it. Thank you for listening to Okay, So Hear Me Out podcast. Again, I am Bear. This is Big Circle CEO Chris.
Yes, sir.
You can find us on YouTube. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok.
Everywhere.
You can hear us everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio. Thank you for tapping in. Peace, love, prayers, and as always, make a great day.